How can the man you love be such a jerk sometimes? It's almost as if he wants to push you away. Well, to explain, let me tell you a story. It's about the time I met a skunk. Hi, I'm Amy Waterman, a dating and relationship expert with Brilliance.com. And in this video, I want to share you a different perspective on why your guy has so many defenses and what you can do about it. So skunks get hit on the highway all the time where I live. And if your windows are down, that smell fills your car and makes you gag. Like nobody likes skunks. Telling somebody that they smell like a skunk is the worst of insults. Well, a while back, I was walking along a country road with my daughter and some friends. It was the perfect blue summer's day. We came around a corner and I said, "Stop everyone!" Because up ahead was a black and white skunk. She was tootling along the road as fast as she could because she was trying to get away from us. And 3 little babies were scampering behind, hidden underneath her tail. The problem was she was going the same direction we were going, and there was no way around. So we had to just follow her very, very carefully. I hoped they'd turn off the road, but they didn't. They kept on going until they came to a cattle guard. Now, Mama Skunk wasn't worried. She started to pick her way across the guardrails, and her little babies followed as best they could. But of course, halfway across, the inevitable happened. One of the babies slipped, and it fell down underneath the cattle guard. Mama Skunk didn't stop. She got herself to the other side. She made sure her other babies got to the other side. And what was she going to do? She looked at us. She looked down at her baby, and she wasn't going to go anywhere. So we were at an impasse. We couldn't cross until she moved, and she wasn't going to budge. And so we just waited. So finally, Mama Skunk made a decision. She led her little family up to the bank beside the cattle guard, and then they vanished. Like, where had they gone? We had to find out, so we walked slowly to the cattle guard, and we saw what had happened. She'd actually found a way to get underneath the guardrails, and she was down there in the dark beneath the cattle guard with all 3 babies around her. She had found her babies. So we crossed over the cattle guard very carefully, and once we were on the other side, my friend, who was much braver than me, crouched down and said, "Hello there, beautiful. Oh, you have a beautiful family." And she told us to come over and look. Now, I thought this was a mistake. I thought we were all going to get sprayed. But we all crept over to the side and we looked down, and my friend was right. Mama Skunk was just beautiful. She was lifting her nose to have a sniff at us. She looked at me, and I swear my heart just caught. And then she looked back at her babies, making sure that she saw every single one, and then back at us. And I got it. She was just a mother like me, wanting to keep her children safe. So I learned a powerful lesson that day about defenses. The more vulnerable you are, like if you're born without sharp claws or fearsome fangs or huge muscles, the more you need a way to protect yourself and those you love. You need some way to keep others at a distance until you feel safe. And that's not just true for skunks, it's true for all of us. It's easy to make fun of skunks for that terrible smell they spray when they're scared, but it's not so easy to see that we all do some pretty off-putting things when we're frightened. Maybe your man shuts down and stops communicating, or maybe your teenage daughter screams, "I hate you!" Or maybe your mother turns into a know-it-all who just tells you everything to do. People who feel vulnerable find ways to make themselves feel safer. But unlike skunks, we don't have just one default way to protect ourselves. Our defenses are mostly psychological, but they serve the same purpose: to keep others at a distance. Now, you wouldn't think defenses would be necessary in a loving relationship, but they are, because when we let people into our lives, we give them the power to hurt us. One wrong word from someone you love wounds you so much more deeply than cruel comments from strangers. And so we learn to push people away. And we don't do that because we're cruel. We do it because we don't know any other way. Hurting those we love is sometimes the only way we know to get the space and the relief we need. Hating skunks because of their smell is like hating people because of their defenses. Underneath, we're all the same. We're all vulnerable, and we all need some kind of sword and shield to feel safe as we venture out into the big wide world. Now, that doesn't excuse your guy from being a jerk, but it does show you a maybe healthier way to deal with him. Learn to distinguish his defenses from those genuinely aggressive actions. You want to look past what he's saying to what his body language is conveying. His eyes will tell you more than his words. And when you can spot his defenses, then you know something important. You don't have to take that behavior personally because it's not about you. It really is about him. He's feeling scared, or he's feeling weak, or he's feeling threatened. And if you confront him aggressively, then you reinforce his belief that people aren't safe. And of course, his shields will go up even further. So instead, try this. Show him that you're safe. Speak gently. Give him the space he needs to feel comfortable. You don't have to call him out on his unpleasant behavior, but you don't have to stay around for it either. And later, when you're both feeling calm and close, you might want to open up a conversation about defenses. Talk about some of the things that you do when you're feeling vulnerable. What do you need to feel secure? And what does he need? How do your defenses make him feel, and how do his defenses make you feel? And could you do things differently? So when my father was a kid, he knew people who kept a skunk as a pet that removed the scent glands. Now, you cannot do that sort of thing anymore, but it changed my father's views on skunks. He remembers being impressed by how intelligent, loving, and loyal that skunk was. So don't judge an animal by its defenses, and don't judge people by theirs. That's how we get a safer, kinder world. So there you have it. We all have defenses. We push people away when we're feeling vulnerable. If you're dealing with defensive behavior, the solution is not to push back or to shame them. It's to recognize that something else is going on here. This person needs to feel safe, and they're going about it quite badly. So what do you do when you're feeling triggered? Do you know how to ask for what you need, or do you push people away? Join the conversation in the comments. And if this video helped you in any way, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more great videos about how you can live your most brilliant life. And if you've got a moment, come on over to yourbrilliance.com. You can find lots more information there on relationships, as well as beauty, health, career, you name it. We would love to see you there. See you again soon.